everybody. Yeah, there's the waveform. Okay. Yeah, I'm so out of it. All right. Why it's good that we're doing anime reflux first, because, that's how we wake up and get back to recording methods and temperaments and stuff. Yeah. Things.
Yes.
I I had to take a nap earlier today. I've slept like 16 of 24 hours. It's I'm I'm a little downbeat, let's say. So what was the anime that we watched? It was something Altair.
Shoukoku no Altair.
That's the one. Yeah. There is no guy called Altair in this show, from my memory.
No, there's not.
Yeah. Uh, Mildly disappointing. But, it's a fictionalized retelling of battles from Turkey region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They misspell have like a misspelling of Turkey, and it's the stratocracy with an aggressive empire kind of nearby, and there being a potential for war to break out just at any minor sort of thing that happens or incident.
I'm not sure whether that's a misspelling or the actual, like, how it used to be spelled. Or how it's actually spelled in their language. I don't actually know.
I don't know.
Could be any one of those. But
Because it's just kind of weird that that's like the single word that actually has like accent marks and is different.
yeah, Turkey.
Oh, that is the
does,
actual name in its language.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
I
no.
was going to say it does have that sort of. This is probably wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway. Arabic kind of word structure a little bit more. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is. See, I say that, but there's no mention of the Ottoman Empire anywhere in here, even though it seems to be taking place in that sort of time period. But who? I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about this. Like, I can bullshit my way through fucking Sengoku period and all that stuff, and Western European history. Sure, I'm your guy, but this is beyond me. This is outside my wheelhouse, so I should just stop trying to talk about this stuff and just talk about the actual show and the contents of it. Because I have no idea how to contextualize this to actual history. So, this story is about a dude who is blonde and pale skinned in Turkey, which is a little odd, but again, don't know how to contextualize, so we'll just fucking go with it because Japan. As far as Japan is concerned, everyone west of Russia is white. So, there's a party celebrating him.
They're watching
becoming...
football downstairs.
They're watching what?
My family's watching football and they're screaming right now.
Okay. All right, it's Sunday. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're celebrating this dude's ascension to the rank of a pasha, which is, I'm assuming, means something like counselor.
The senior officials.
Yeah. And he's the quiet type, the loner who doesn't really want to do the whole partying thing. And he has a friend named Ibrahim. It's funny that I remember the name of the friend and not this guy himself, for reasons that I was kind of wondering whether this was supposed to be like... I shouldn't even try and remember the actual names, but I do remember there was a famous historical figure who was part of the Ottoman Empire who did have a best friend named Ibrahim, who was like a slave or something who became like prime minister. But this is not that, as far as I can tell.
Our main character's name is Mamut,
That's it. Thank you, Mahmoud.
Mahmut. Mamut.
Mahmoud. Uh, and a dancer comes up and is like, "Hey, what's up? You want to dance?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna look in my book and writing it and stuff." She's like,
I'm
"No,
gonna be a
really, dance,
nerd.
be cool, do some dancing. It's a celebration." And they basically drag him out onto the dance floor, or you know, out into the square because it's an outdoor party. Lots of fireworks. It's very cool. I like the look of it. The party winds down, and the dancer. It's not quite certain whether she's pretending to be inebriated or what, but she basically blags her way into staying with him. She takes the bed, and he sleeps out on the roof because he is chaste shonen boy, I guess.
Yeah.
I, yeah. He's
Yeah.
that kind of dude. He is troubled and has traumatic memories, so he doesn't really indulge in anything fun. Because he is dedicated to one specific cause. And that cause is stopping war from happening ever.
No war.
And considering the name of the show, I feel like maybe he fails at that at some point. just
Yeah,
an
I get the
expectation.
feeling that there's gonna be a war, and he's gonna have to navigate that at some point. I do want to point out, I noticed something. It's the empire is called the Balt Rhine Empire. Um, the Balkan Empire.
Yeah, the
All the
Baltics
Balkans.
and the Rhine is a
Yeah.
river, so yeah,
So it's all there.
yeah, it's a sort of Eastern Europe kind of Slavic region is what that probably represents.
Hmm.
Again, we don't know whether this is actually taken from real history and the names have been changed and shuffled around and everything. We don't know this period.
It's
We don't
certainly
know this
drawing
region.
inspiration, though.
Yes, it is. Yeah, this one's a little tricky for us, but so there is an incident, a political incident where an official from the empire, let's just call it empire for the sake of convenience, gets killed, shot to death, ambushed by arrows that resemble the arrows used by Turkey. Turkey. By Turkey. Let's not pretend I can actually do pronunciations. So there is a big council meeting trying to figure out their response to this attack that appears to have been perpetrated by them, but as far as they know was not.
To their knowledge, they had nothing to do with this. So, how are we going to deal with this?
Yeah. They can't prove it, so their choices are start a war immediately or do what the Empire says, which is to send an official to plead their case.
Mm-hmm.
And Mahmut tries to come up with an alternative, or at least plead for his peers to at least consider thinking up an alternative, because they're fairly certain that it's an either or situation. They can't think of anything better. But he's like, no, there has to be a third option. And another older counselor is like, no, if you're just going to shout and scream, then what are you doing here, kid? Kind of thing.
He's looked down upon for his youth.
Which
He just
yeah.
I mean, he also recently just got appointed, so it's like you're gonna come in here and you're gonna shout.
Yeah. Uh, and even older, as in veteran, as in like looks about 70-ish, which for the time period is old. Um, Pulls him aside after the meeting and is like, "Hey, yeah, I get it, and I know what you're about in this because of your past, where you got caught up in a war that I failed to prevent. So we're both going to have to do what we can." And Mahmoud goes about and investigates, and he figures out that the arrows that were used were not quite the same as the ones actually used by Turkey. They're from the wrong place on a falcon or something
Yeah,
like that.
the feathers that they use on the arrow are not taken from the right area on the falcon. Because they use a specific type of feather, and that kind of denotes it's their arrow. But somebody didn't know that, and it was apparently them trying to fake the arrow.
Yeah. So he discovers this and runs off to tell people to say that, hey, we can prove it. And he finds out that the older veteran Pasha has already left to sacrifice himself to the Empire and plead their case and such, expecting he's probably going to die, but at least it will prevent a war. So Mammoet is kind of pissed off about this, but he goes and chases down the caravan to help out his old mentor. And they have a long conversation about trying to prevent wars and what they have to do, what they have to sacrifice to make that happen. And it's a
And
hard
he's
road
like, "You're
ahead.
probably yeah," and he's like, "You're probably aware that this is all like." The old man kind of reveals that he's kind of aware that this is some tomfoolery, but he needs to he needs to do something
Yeah,
to try to make sure things don't blow up.
yeah. It's all very obviously a sham from their side, but they can't do nothing. The alternative is just straight up go to war. Like, yeah,
Some people do want to go to war, but can't have
and
that.
and this guy is like, I'm at the end of my life anyway, so it's not even a big sacrifice. I'm happy to do this if it keeps our people safe and
Hmm.
such, and means I don't have to repeat my failures. So meanwhile, in the Empire, there is a counselor. I forget his actual rank, but he is basically the one behind the whole plot. And he organizes another one to have the caravan with the Pasha ambushed. But it turns out during the actual ambush, Mahmoud comes up with a scheme to capture the assassins by leaving the caravan running unattended and then ambushing the assassins during the ambush. Cool.
Counter ambush.
Yeah. It's all pretty solid. It's kind of predictable that that's what's going to happen, but solid first episode of establishing who these characters are and that they are competent. They're not like he's a new council member, general type person,
Yeah.
but he knows what he's fucking doing.
He throws bird feed on everybody so the birds just go nuts and start swarming them.
Yeah. So the assassins get captured. They prove that the whole thing was a sham, and everyone gets off scot free, and he goes home. Cool. It's a
But
solid start to the show.
yeah, it shows that there's people on both sides that want war and are trying to instigate a war, and he's trying to prevent it because he knows how much war can ruin somebody's life.
Yeah. There is also a flashback scene of what happened to him. Like,
Hmm.
his village got attacked, his mum died, and while he was like 7 years old, not quite understanding exactly what was going on, he fetched water for his mum and poured it on her face. She was already very, very dead.
Kind of traumatic. Kind of traumatic.
A little bit. And that was how Elder Bashar found him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Overall, I think this was actually a very solid first episode for the show, just establishing the premise and what it's going to be about.
Yeah. It's a really solid start. It puts together all the characters. It focuses on what the main thrust of the plot is going to be, the characters and their motivations, and why their motivations are such as they are. Uh, the, Again, the character designs are very, very pale for some reason, but it's one of those. It's Japan. It's one of those things.
Some are paler, some are darker skinned. It's not really consistent.
Yeah, it's true. Like the dancer is, if memory, it's been like a couple of weeks since I watched it. The dancer was fairly dark skinned. Ibrahim
Yes.
was he looked very Middle Eastern, but Mahmoud was the fucking white guy. Let's be honest. But yeah, sure, Japan. Like, yeah,
Like at least it's not 100% just everybody's white.
yeah,
Because then there's some interpretation for, well, maybe they came from this region, maybe they have a bit of mixed blood here,
yep.
or stuff like that.
I mean, Mahmoud is basically established to not actually be from Turkey. I think. At least that's the implication I got.
I think that's the implication as well.
Yeah. So
He was taken in, but he's not. This is not his home.
yeah. But I thought this was really, really good. I considered watching more, and then just kind of it slipped my mind. Actually, like I was absolutely in for watching more of this, but
I was actually
things
considering
happen.
watching more as well, but a lot of IRL stuff happened, and yeah. But overall, solid. I really like the idea of focusing on, even though it's a fictional history, focusing on this culture of this specific area that we don't get to see a lot in.
Especially in anime. They don't like this region in Japan, so it's kind of interesting to see it for once and see it explored culturally. Like at best in anime, you tend to get the Arabian Nights kind of thing, like the
Yeah.
very fantastical version of this.
Yeah, no, I think this is great. Um, Definitely something I would want to watch more of just to see how it pans out. I think we can roll a new one.
Yeah.
22.
Catch. Get it?
Mm-hmm. That's what we call a catch 22 right there. Mm-hmm.
16, 17, 18. X.
Oh,
Go and give it to you.
knock knock.
That's 4.
Well, 2.
Wait, is it 20? Hang on, 22. 29. No, fucking, what am I counting? 22, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. No, it's W. I'm a moron. I think. God damn it. Counting letters sucks, especially when they're not in right.
Stop the count.
Yeah, okay, it's W. I fucked it up. Okay. We'll roll 31 because I can't be bothered.
I love counting. Counting's great.
Yeah, I don't want to
How
cut
many?
out the ones we've already done, so 31.
Got it. 27.
27. We haven't done that one. Cool. Okay, that's a fucking name.
What do you got? Lay it on me.
Okay, I don't know whether this is going to be full length or not. It looks like it might not be. Wusa no Sono Higurashi.
I'll
Or,
double check it.
or
Nope,
Wusa's
not
Hand
full
to
length.
Love Life.
Three,
Ah,
3 minutes.
fuck. Okay. 31 again. 2
Two
each.
nine.
Okay, I haven't done 29 either. Oh, okay. That's another title. Fuck. Uh,
What do we got? What do we got? Let me know the secrets.
the 2020th anime.
World destruction.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
In a world where humans serve as livestock for the ruling beastmen, and where sand fills the roles of water and fire, Kirei is recruited, or
Kyrie.
Kyrie, or Kyrie, I don't know, is recruited by the World Destruction Committee to assist in putting an end to their world. Kyrie, or whatever, alone holds the power needed to do it. In a world where human services, okay, Morte Ashella, a member or only member of the so-called World Destruction Committee, is wanted in hiding. She goes to a Beastman party at lunch where she meets Kirei, a human boy working at a Beastman bar, concealing his true identity as a human. When her enemies, the World Salvation Committee, found her, she okay. So basically, Beastmen rule the world, lots of desert, and they form a Kirei and Morte Ashella form a committee to destroy the world because humans are livestock.
I am going to throw this out there right now. If we do this anime, I am 100% going to spend all of the review making Devil May Cry 4 references. It's the whole thing.
I saw it as well.
Kyrie!
A 2008 anime.
Oh, it's even the right time. Cool.
Based off a video game
Called Devil May Cry 4. It would be weird.
called. Why is it called World Destruction? The anime, okay. Sands of Destruction is what it is called as a video game.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Let's do this. It was a DS game.
My mind is just lining up the references right now. Okay. We can do this. Sweet. I'm sure this won't be a stupid as hell review.
It was a DS game that the Wikipedia page for it is so small. It'll be great.
Okay. So
I
that's
don't
what
know
we're
why
doing.
I got an anime. All right. Yeah, we're doing that next week or whenever. Sands of Destruction, World
Yeah.
Destruction, Guided Wills is another title it has. Or the game, I don't know.
Devil May Cry.
Do you want to blow up a planet? Really want to blow up a planet?
Bye, everybody.
Bye.